That sounds like a tough job because you're literally the bad guy. I think I was unfairly fired, and he's saying, no, you deserve it.
And your kids are hungry.
Pretty much. I know. It sounds terrible, but...
And it's fun that time.
It's fun.
But it's a job. It's a part I enjoy. It's a part I enjoy.
It's 9 to live. It's 9 to live. It's 9 to live. It's 9 to live.
Hi guys, I am Bonisile.
I'm Lesego.
And this is 9 to Life, your career and life journey podcast where we interview the interesting people doing the things you'd like to do or the things you didn't even know you could.
So on today's episode, we have a very interesting guest. Does a lot of things. I don't know now which one we're going to be talking about, if we'll have time for all of them. But we have Tshego Gaelae. Yes, that's the one. She's a BBBEE specialist, 9 to 5, and 9 to life. Many things. We'll talk about them in the podcast.
Well, Tash, thank you so much for joining us again, Mrs. G. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties the last time, but we couldn't let it slide. So we called Mrs. G, and we know she's always pretty because she looks pretty twice. 2 different conservative interviews representing. So I would say, can you maybe take us back, young Tshego? What's our guy? Who are you? What made you you?
Okay, so I am Tshego Gaelae. I am originally from Soweto. Born and bred in Soweto. Currently, I reside in Centurion. Okay. As you guys touched on, I am a triple BEE specialist. I am an admitted attorney by qualification or profession. I'm an admitted attorney, predominantly focusing on triple BEE solutions and strategies and all of that, as well as labor relations.
Okay. And can you maybe take us through that? Because you are an admitted attorney, but I don't think your work has a lot to do with court. And that's the other side of it that we don't see on Suits.
Yeah.
And what are the other ones?
Boston
Legal. Ellie McBeal. I just gave away my age. Ellie McBeal. I gave away my age there. Sorry.
So so a lot of people don't see that. Can you maybe speak more of the opportunities that are there as an admitted attorney beyond
just being in court? So, to be quite honest, an LLB degree literally opens a whole plethora of opportunities, like different types of career paths through just getting an LLB degree. You don't have to be a litigating attorney. It doesn't limit you to just that. There's going corporate and being a legal advisor in so many different sectors, So I happen to work for an ICT company, and the legal advisors within our group specifically focus on ICT related contracts, agreements, all of those things, You can go into banking, you can go into construction, you can go into mining, there's so many different things that an LLB degree opens you up to. You can go into medical negligence, So it's not just limited to court litigation. It's not just limited to you appearing in court every day or doing divorces or doing criminal law for me, that was the fun part. Like, I did my articles at Legal Aid and I was doing criminal law all day, every day. And best days of my life. I would literally, I count those as the best days, some of the very best days of my life.
Do you guys tell people to just plead guilty?
Oh, we do not. Okay, let's dispel the stigma and stereotype.
Very early on in the episode.
On the onset. No, we don't. Do you know there's actually a requirement on legal aid attorneys to show the steps they have gone through in going through the merits of the case and ensuring that you extinguish every possible means of defense before you can plead guilty, before you can tell your client, okay, the facts speak for themselves or things are weighing up against you, you better just admit your guilt if you are guilty. There's a requirement.
So you advise clients to admit guilt?
No. I mean, you go through the merits of the case. You don't just...
You say...
With them. You consult extensively. Yes, you consult extensively. And when your client admits that, yes, I did this, I want to plead guilty, you advise your client of the consequences of pleading guilty. What are the possible sentences as well? What are you facing? What's the likelihood, right? And where there's a defense, you challenge that defense. Remember, it's not a defense attorney's job to prove innocence. You're not there to prove innocence. You're there to challenge the state's case. It's the state's duty to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So where you can cast even a tips of doubt, your client will be found, you must be found not guilty.
Another standard in South Africa is what?
It's beyond a reasonable
doubt.
Please don't listen to these people telling you about shadow of doubt, all of these things.
Shadow of doubt,
this is not America.
It's worth.
And that's always the case because we see a lot of people arguing things from a South African context, using American law.
Because this is not Boston legal. Also,
we have just a side note. Do we have a statute of limitation? Yeah, not statute of limitations. Double jeopardy.
It's a principle.
Okay.
It's a principle of double jeopardy.
Explain it for the people at home that might not know.
Guys, my practice days are so long ago. So double jeopardy means that you cannot punish a person twice for the same matter, for the same offense.
Okay.
So you stole a jersey at Edgar's and you plead guilty and I sentence you. No.
It's not Edgar's, this one. This one is not...
So say, for example, you steal a jersey from Edgar. So you steal a chocolate from Pick n Pay. I punish you. I give you a suspended sentence. Tomorrow, they charge you again of that chocolate. That's double jeopardy. I can't punish you for the same offense twice.
So even if I come into the store and eat the chocolate in front of you, there's nothing you can do?
No. Another chocolate.
No, the very same chocolate. I guess I stole it and I put it away. Now I come back and say, nah, here's my chocolate.
No, because that means you're stealing it twice.
No, I'm not stealing it. It's the same chocolate. Remember, I've already gone to prison for the chocolate. Now I'm coming back with the chocolate and saying, Tshego, this is the chocolate I stole.
Why on God's green earth would you be coming back with the chocolate again?
Why not? I guess now I've served. So I was thinking about it from the context of the jersey, actually. Mm-hmm. Can I rock the jersey guilt-free after I've stolen it?
No, you give it back.
I must give it back, but I'm served. Oh, but I'm served.
Guys, whether you're getting arrested for it or not doesn't change the fact that the jersey is not yours.
Oh, cool. No.
Oh no, but look at it like a hijacked car. If someone hijacks your car, can they say, okay, I'll serve the time. It's mine now.
It's mine now because I served the time.
Okay, cool. I was okay, cool. So you can't just wrong the jersey.
No, it's not your jersey.
It's not Japan.
It's not your jersey.
No, it's
not your jersey. It's not your jersey.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I thought I was gonna rock the jersey guilt-free.
No,
you can't.
You cannot.
Okay.
Cool. Just to take you back, ne? I heard you talking about a legal LLB degree and those that you can open. Is it the same with a BCOM law degree? Okay.
So there's 3 types, for lack of a better word to use. You can either study a straight LLB, you can study a BCOM law, you'll have BCOM majors. You can study a BA law, and you'll have BA majors.
What does the BA stand for?
Baccalaureus, Bachelor of Arts, Baccalaureus Artim.
Okay.
Baccalaureus Artim, Baccalaureus Bonisile.
Go with the Latin.
baccalaureate.
That's how we know a real lawyer. That's how you know. That's how you know it's a real lawyer. When there's Latin, it's a real lawyer.
So what made you go into law?
Interesting, yes.
I've always been a curious child. I'd always been a curious child. Initially, I thought that, like, I remember in high school, whenever anyone asked me, I'd say I'm going to study investigative journalism. And I'm going to do investigative journalism. I'm going to be the next Deborah Patter.
Oh,
yeah.
The blueprint.
Yeah, the blueprint of investigative journalism. But I felt like it stops at like a certain, like you can investigate,
You don't see it though.
but you don't see it through, you know? And very closely linked to the investigative journalism for me, in my mind, was law. Now, when I was in high school, I went through career assessment. I think it was in grade 12 or 11, just before you do your varsity applications. We went through career guidance, career assessment. You write a test, you go through a whole series of tests. And funny, the results of the test, I had two strong options to choose from. The first option said that it recommends that I become an actress.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that's definitely,
So you can see it. Okay.
We're not saying anything about ability, but but looks
the shade, Munna.
looks wise. I think we can tick the box.
The shade.
We can see actress.
Option number 2 was law, which made sense to me that, like, okay, I had been having an interest, so let's see. And
That's two very different things.
Very different. I mean, I do some content creating. I do, but I don't do it like acting.
Okay.
Well, maybe there's a connection there.
Maybe there is.
Because lawyers are not known to be the most truthful people. This is me saying it nicely now. And actors are literally portraying someone else. So maybe that's where...
Do you know, it's funny. It's funny you should say that.
This is what I hear, by the way.
It's funny you should say that. And let's dispel another rumor. Lawyers are not liars. We know how to present the truth.
Isn't that lying?
No.
Lying, there's two levels of lying. I guess
Yeah.
telling a mistruth or telling a half-truth intentionally so that it presents something differently. That's a lie.
We just know how to present the truth.
Even now, yeah.
You know how to present the truth. What does that mean?
We know how to present the truth. I can convince you that this flower is purple. Okay. And I can convince you that this flower could be a shade of pink. Okay. But am I lying?
So
it could be a shade of pink. It could be a shade of purple. It is a shade of purple. It is a shade of pink.
So the way
matter of fact could be, it's just the words that you use. If I say you may or you must. If I say you may be or you are.
Yes, what's the difference? Sorry, side track. What's the difference between shall and must? You shall do this or you must do this. Yes, because like you read not a contract, like an act or something, or regulation. And then it says must. And the whole one says shall. And they say, no, don't write must, write shall.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never experienced. Potentially must and may. Must is...
Yeah, must and may. May is optional, must is... But shall means you shall do it, and must means you ought to do it.
But yeah.
Right?
No,
yeah.
But must means you must do it. It's obligatory.
No, but as a father, you shall take care of your kids. As a father, you must take care of your kids. So that means
Okay. You shall meaning you're most likely to do it. You have to do it.
And then you must as if it is expected of you.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a play of words.
So
I think we could do an episode of Boss and Liga. Yeah, I think we should do something.
I have a coat robe in my car if you're interested.
Yeah, and we've got the cameras here, so we can...
So to understand, Lesego, If I come there with a love bite on my neck and my girl calls you, your job is to say, yes, it is a love bite, but it might be an allergic reaction. Essentially.
Then it's not a love bite.
Then it's not a love bite.
No, yes. Yeah, so to say here's a mark.
I'm putting, yes, definitely there is a mark on his neck. However, it could be
an allergic reaction.
It could be an allergic reaction. It could be a bee sting. It could be a...
And unless she can prove that here's a picture of someone at this club.
Here's the thing.
Will have to apply his mind.
But now we're talking private law versus public law. Because initially we were talking about criminal law, right? Now we're talking about private law, which is between individuals, right? This is civil. Civil is not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's on a balance of probabilities.
Yeah.
You see, civil is on a balance of probabilities. So me being a judge, listening to the both of you, she comes and she says, Your Worship, he has a love bite. And I say, okay, what has convinced you? How do you deduce that it's a love bite? Because he was seen with Sophie and Sophie was kissing his neck. Okay, now the scale is tipped towards her. You see, now it's your turn to come and defend yourself, to tip the scale back. And you say, Your Worship, I do have a mark on my neck. However, it's not a love bite. Sophie is a masseuse. So she was massaging me. And I think I may have had an allergic reaction to something that she used. I went with Sophie to get a massage. Then the scale. But the scale is still more like, because Sophie was seen kissing your neck. Masseuses kiss people's neck.
It's an erotic massage.
Yo.
Anyways, I just want to find out something. Now, we had a guest called Audrit, and Audrit does a lot of things. He's a previous guest. And when I posted his trailers on Twitter, I wrote his different jobs, and then I wrote lawyer. And someone in the comments was like, sorry, law graduate or lawyer? When do you become a lawyer?
When you graduate with your law degree.
So what's the difference between a law graduate and a lawyer?
It's a lawyer.
Hold on. Don't you become a lawyer when you get your articles signed off?
You become an attorney when you get admitted as an attorney after you finish your articles. Okay. But you become a lawyer once you graduate with your LLB degree and you are working in law-related employment.
That's important.
Okay, so I can have a law degree and just not be a lawyer.
You can have a law degree but not be an attorney.
But not be an attorney.
Or an advocate.
Okay, but anyone who has a law degree is a lawyer. So that guy was just being spicy.
I
knew it.
Like, they just saw Bonisile. They were like, this one. I want him to make me trend.
Was a king in?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Can we go back to Varsity? Yeah, we passed high school. You decided now I'm gonna do law. Varsity, how was that like for a law student?
Varsity, if I could redo it, I think I'd work harder from the beginning. Like, I woke up a little bit too late. Like, and not to say it's a bad thing. I think I was experiencing life. I was growing up. I was also learning independence because I lived at Res, no longer under my parents' wing, which is not necessarily a bad thing because you learn a lot of life skills that you use in your later life. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but Varsity was good. I have good memories of Varsity. I think I had a balanced Varsity life. Yeah, and it's not a bad thing to be like having fun in Varsity. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think like the more balanced your life, the more balanced your headspace and all of that, So yeah, I had a very good Varsity life. I also worked on campus just to like make in the extra bag and like rely more on myself, not be asking my parents for things like airtime and all of that stuff. Because back in the day, that was probably the most important thing, airtime, and not really what things that are important now, you know? So yeah, I had a very good balanced varsity life. I would probably have recommended for myself to work harder from the beginning. But yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
So whenever Bangbar blesses, when you're like, I am doing it myself.
But like that, I don't know if I was, I don't know if like I was walking around with blinders, but I don't think that was like big back then, eh? Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I like.
Or is it because it just didn't have a name back then?
No, it did. Sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy. It's always been a thing.
Yeah, it's always been a thing. I think it's just now more out there. Like you can see it. Because I remember in my varsity there were girls that were like, yeah, we know.
Thank God
in mine there was a guy. There was a girl. There was a girl who was in a serious relationship with someone who was a mayor for a few days recently. Like for like a week. For like a few days. Lover of sushi, by the way.
Wow. That's a lot. Okay.
So tell us more about your job. BBBEE consultant and labor.
BBBEE and labor relations manager.
Is your CV like, is your business card like A4?
No. I do not even own a business card. That's
very 2005.
That's outdated.
I don't have a business card. I'll send you my profile.
Just check me on LinkedIn.
Done.
Yeah, you can check me out on LinkedIn. But my job, pretty straightforward.
Straightforward, I don't think is the word.
Yeah, actually no. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not actually.
Labor relations, that strikes and all of that.
That's the fun part of my job.
That's the
fun part of my job. I love labor relations. I love labor relations. I think it's because of, in most instances, its relation to criminal law, which will forever be my first love. But I love labor relations. I enjoy it. I think it's because of the fact that I enjoy working with people. I really, I am both energized and drained by people, if that makes sense. I'm both energized and drained by people, but I love working with people. And I love being able to relate to people. There's that misconception that, the labor lawyer in the corporate situation or setting is the lawyer on behalf of the company, which I am.
I was about to ask whether are you on the company side?
In most instances, yes.
Side?
On the company side.
I can see.
So if I go to if someone takes us to the CCMA or there's a union matter, then they call the person who does labor relations on behalf of the group, they call me.
Oh, very interesting.
So yeah.
That sounds like a tough job because you're literally the bad guy. I think I was unfairly fired, and he's saying, no, you deserve it.
And your kids are hungry.
Pretty much. I know. It sounds terrible, but...
And it's fun that time.
It's fun.
It's a job. It's a part I enjoy.
No, guys, not like that.
No, I'm kidding.
Not like that.
Yes, okay.
It's the most engaging part. BE is a lot. It's a lot on paper. It's a lot of moving parts, but not necessarily. I could literally, when it comes to the BE stuff that I do, I could literally work from home Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, without seeing a single person, and just be sending emails, getting all the reports together, submitting, and I could literally, and I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that, The fun part about it is the strategies and figuring out how to, I think the other fun part of my job, especially on the BE front, is the skills development. I enjoy the training aspect. I enjoy giving people opportunities to upskill. So I think that's also, let me not give it the credit it deserves.
Also fun.
It's also fun. It's not necessarily fun, but fulfilling. Yeah, not necessarily fun, but really, really fulfilling, because you can literally, there's learnership courses that we sponsor as a company. And since I started with the company, there's learners that have literally started learnership programs from an NTF level 1, and they're already at like NTF level 7.
Wow, that's
your degree. Your degree is NTF level 7 and 8. So like that's the fulfilling part, the part of upskilling small enterprises, with the enterprise and development, enterprise and supplier development programs that we do as well. So those are the fulfilling parts of my job. But my favorite part of my job will forever be what makes me interact with people, and it will always be labor.
So you spoke about upscaling suppliers, other companies, and then skills development, because when people think BBBEE, they're thinking percentage of black. What are the other legs that you're balancing?
There's so many other legs of BE. There's your ownership. It is a factor, that's for sure. There is management control and employment equity. There's skills development. There's preferential procurement, and there's socio-economic development. So in preferential procurement, it also encompasses enterprise and supplier development. So all of those elements, and it depends on the sector. It depends on the sector within which that company belongs in. Transport sector has its own sector codes, retail sector, different sectors. So I work within the ICT sector, and that's what I do from our perspective, and that's our scorecard on the ICT sector codes of good practice.
So codes are like a standard you need to have,
like the rules that you must adhere to. Basically it's the rules that you must adhere to. And also there's different requirements for different sizes of enterprises, right? So if you are an emerging micro enterprise, that's your small enterprises with a turnover of less than 10 million, your requirements won't be the same as an entity with a turnover of 50 million and above, type of thing. So in that case, that's when it's just about your ownership. Yeah.
And I think if you get a kick out of your skills development, then I think you must get a kick out of also developing black businesses. Absolutely. What makes it hard for, in your case, to empower black-owned businesses? One example that I've had is a lady that sort of has the same position as you in another company. And she said to me that her biggest problem is that they do everything. So you don't know what to develop, because you have laundry, you are in construction, and only one that time. Yeah, but you're a laundry, construction, computers. What makes it hard for you?
I think the thing that makes it hard for us, so whatever, in most instances, when it comes to enterprise and supplier development, it's always supposed to be related to the ICT sector. And truth be told, in the current state of affairs that our country is in, small enterprises are suffering. We're already running very short on enterprises that do ICT, small enterprises, that is. We're running short on small enterprises that do ICT related, either retail, either solutions, either services. And for me, fine, I can take a Tshego Pty Ltd and develop them. And once Tshego Pty Ltd becomes a generic entity, I can't contribute to them anymore. And then now I'm running short of who do we develop if we have nobody? Small businesses are closing. Small businesses are closing at a rapid rate, and it makes it difficult when we're already running on a skills shortage for us to have small businesses to develop. But, we're moving into, there's also the aspect of the fourth industrial revolution. So hopefully things light up, things improve. And but yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge that we're having right now. And it's not just small businesses that are feeling the pinch, even your top dogs are feeling that bite. It's a big hurdle to jump over in order to be contributing to the development of small enterprises, but it's worth it in the long run, So yeah.
Okay. On to, I guess, less depressing thing, because we all hear about how businesses are shutting down, especially over the past couple of years. What else do you do? We know it's a lot, and I don't know if we'll cover all of it, but let's start. Let's see how far we get.
So what else do I do? I think I mentioned earlier that I am a content creator. I have a YouTube page, a YouTube channel.
Link in the description.
Yeah. My YouTube page is called @mapk_Mrs. G. I also am a founder of an NGO called We Are Our Children's Keeper. I do a lot, guys. I'm a mom. I'm a mother to a 3-year-old. I'm a wife. I am
Let me know. There's a lot of exhaustion.
I was waiting for a wife to a 1-2-year-old.
I'm a wife. I'm a mom to a 3-year-old. I am an admitted attorney. I am the founder of an NGO. I am a content creator, and I am a semi-finalist for Mrs. South Africa.
So that explains the sash.
That explains the sash. Sash gang.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I just decided to go on a quest towards self. 2023 was dedicated to myself, dedicated to reaching and achieving dreams and goals that I'd probably put on the back burner. I had potentially convinced myself that it was never going to happen, I decided to research Mrs. South Africa. I remember actually 4 years ago, I got tickets to attend Mrs. South Africa. No, not Mrs. South Africa, Miss South Africa. I got tickets to attend Miss South Africa. And back then, I had actually applied. I had entered Miss South Africa, and I got rejected. I was told I'm too short, I'm not thin enough, this, that, and the other. No?
Crazy how things have changed, because now, yeah.
So and then 2019, when I attended Miss South Africa, I happened to have been pregnant, right, at the time. And I think that was a sobering moment to say, it will never happen. You were interested in pageants a little bit and you wanted to enter Miss South Africa. It will never happen.
Hold on. So if you have a child, you can't enter Miss South Africa?
Well, things have changed, right?
It used to be like that.
This is the first year of the change.
This is the first year of the change. This is actually the first year.
Married. Yes. Married, of course. But child, what does the child have to do with me being a miss? I guess that's why they changed it. Okay.
So I'll probably touch on that a little, and I hope it doesn't get me into trouble. But it was a sobering moment when I attended Miss South Africa, and I happened to be pregnant very early in my pregnancy still. But it was sobering. It was okay, I'm pregnant now. Now it's fine. I'm accepting. I'll never enter Miss South Africa. I'll never probably enter a pageant. I'm pregnant now. It's over. Years later, 2022, early 2022, someone's like, why haven't you entered Mr. South Africa? Now I'm married. And someone's like, why haven't you entered Mr. South Africa? I was like, Mr. South Africa? What's that? And I decided to do my research, and wow, I discovered a platform that not only accepts women for their different backgrounds, their different aesthetics, their different come as you are. Not only does it accept women as they are, it celebrates women. as they are. Celebrate them for their fierceness. Celebrate them for their achievements. Celebrate them whether you are married, whether you are... No, actually, Mrs. South Africa, you must be married. Whether you have children, you don't have children. You have tattoos, you don't have tattoos. You are pink, you are red. You are purple, you are green. You are a woman in South Africa, a married woman in South Africa between the ages of 25 to 55. You are eligible to be
up to 55.
Up to 55. So it shows a more relatable representation of a realistic representation that you can relate to of women in South Africa. I mean, for example, are you telling me that, let's make an example. A 15-year-old girl gets raped. She falls pregnant. She chooses to keep the child. Now she's 22 and she wants to enter Miss South Africa.
Now you can't enter.
Now you can't enter. You have a child.
Hey, sure. That's the problem.
So I think it was because of platforms like Mrs. South Africa that Miss South Africa stepped up their game and were more open to accepting diverse backgrounds of women, because it's not in all circumstances that women choose their set of circumstances.
Yeah, you called it the biggest women empowerment organization.
I have called it that before. It is definitely the biggest. You know, it's often referred to as the MBA of womenhood.
Yo.
And it really has been referred to
on 9 to 9.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah. We love MBA here.
Yeah, no. It's literally been referred to as the MBA of womanhood. And, you know, I truly, and I can say this now, having walked the semi-finalist journey since February. Today is
you're a semi-finalist?
Yeah, so
we didn't see that. I think...
semi-finalist. I'm working towards becoming a finalist and hopefully Mrs. SA 2024. So this is the girl to be voting for.
So what we're going to do is we're going to drop your details here. Okay. And then so people vote via, is it website?
SMS and Instagram and Facebook. So if you voting on my Instagram page, the very first pinned picture on my Instagram is my voting card. You like that picture, but you make sure that you also follow Mrs. South Africa. On Facebook, you go onto Mrs. South Africa's page. You'll see the album saying semi-finalist. My picture is there at the bottom because it was the first picture they posted. So my picture is there. You like that picture and you follow Mrs. South Africa's Facebook page.
Nah, man, big ups. And then what would it mean to you if you win?
Winning would
actually
mean...
words matter. When you win.
There we go. Yes.
There we go. We put it on 9 to liar.
So when I win, winning for me would be the crowning moment to what has been an amazing journey. I think it would be like the ultimate crowning moment, but not just for the crown. It's a working title. And I think when I consider the fact that I was inspired by the women that I engaged with, fellow sisters and semi-finalists who I engaged with in the journey, who are doing amazing things, women in business, women that are, you know, top shots in their positions and corporate, you know, people that they're doing amazing things. And I think it was because of that inspiration that I finally registered my NPO, something that I've been wanting to do, you know. So winning for me would be finally getting the working title to do my part, to get my hands dirty in fixing our communities. We have such a we have many problems in South Africa, but I really think one of the biggest problems in South Africa is a lack of accountability from leadership specifically. And because of that, people on the ground level are the ones that are suffering. So do what you can, as small as it may feel, as small as it may seem, do what we can to change and uplift our societies.
Sure. Yeah, I love that response. And it sort of answers a question that I had in my mind, which was, why did you enter in the first place? I think you sort of touched on it, but I don't know if you want to elaborate some more.
the biggest reason why I entered was, number one, I wanted to almost challenge myself, test myself, to say, here's a door that could potentially lead to the things that you dreamt about. You wanted to see yourself at your most highest potential. And here's the MBA of womanhood. Do it. Let's see how far it takes you. But I think that I was also looking for a place to feel that it is okay not only to be accepted for whoever and however you may be, but to be celebrated. You are worthy of it. So I think that's the biggest reason why I entered it. I mean, it's a platform that celebrates women for being women. Need I say more? You know? So yeah.
I think let's get into the content creation part of it, because I think we can relate to that part. We are creating content right now. How did you start on that journey? Yeah. How did you start on that journey, and how is it going?
Sure, content creating. Can we just respect content creators? Because it's a job. It's not you're not just sitting like, a selfie because it's a job. And creativity doesn't always flow. Like, it's not like a natural river, it just flows, you know. You sit and you come up with concepts, you come up with all of those things. So just to dispel the notion that content creation is easy and you get paid for just being on your phone the whole time. So I always toyed with the idea of content creating until my one colleague challenged me. And she was like, start your YouTube channel. Yeah. And if you look at the first video on my YouTube channel, you can see that, like, I was just going on a day at the office.
We have to watch that.
Now we actually have to see.
Literally, like, I was just going on a day. And thank God I did. Thank God I did, because, wow, I've learned so many things through my content creating. So many different things. I think I've also created such an awesome bond with my child. My child is 3, and obviously, inevitably, you'll create a bond with your son. It's your first child. I'm a mother, you know. But on a level of something that I'm interested in, like if I flash the camera to my child, the first thing he's gonna say is, "Welcome to Mama's YouTube channel." Wow. That's what he's gonna say, you know. And but yeah, I've learned a lot through my YouTube page. I also got the chutzpah to make a little corner of my YouTube channel dedicated to my lawyer's corner. Yeah, it's like intersection. So my YouTube page, unlike most YouTubers would tell you, is not segmented into a specific niche, you know. I do my motherhood realities. I do my lifestyle content, including my life as a lawyer. I've learned how to do my own makeup through like putting myself on the spot and like learn how to do makeup on my YouTube channel. And, you know, I showed cooking with my child. So now that I have decided to branch out into my lawyer's corner, I've decided to take a much more educational aspect, a much more educational route of using my YouTube channel just to share small nuggets and insights into South African law, how it can help you, how it can benefit you, what are your rights, from an employment perspective, from a criminal law perspective, and very soon I'm going to be releasing my episode on domestic violence and how you can protect yourself around those kind of situations through a protection order.
Okay. So our target audience, that doesn't mean the rest of you must stop watching, are young people between the ages of 16 and 24. That's really who we make this for, and the rest of you just jump on.
Please stay on.
Please stay
on.
I want you as a mother, you know how social media is replacing albums now. We used to look at our parents' albums. Look at mommy. 15 years from now, BK is going to be watching this episode, probably deciding what to study or, you know, trying to figure it out.
Just don't do law, my son.
That's so good piece of advice.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Because you might be speaking to others as well.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I think you must be intentional about choosing a career, you know, and you must be aware of the world that you live in. You can't be walking around with like blinkers and not being aware of the world that you are living in. You know, we're moving into, there's talks about the fourth industrial revolution. We're moving into such a technological, things are digitized, you know, things are so digitized. So careers like software developers, it's a yes. It's a yes.
4?
It's a yes. Careers like your computing and technical, those careers, I would definitely be advising towards that. But also be intentional. You know, there's that saying that says, if you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life.
Yeah.
We're not all fortunate to be not working. Some of us are working, but that doesn't mean that you won't enjoy what you're doing. You know, so be intentional about what you're choosing. Know yourself, know your skill set, and be objective. Be honest about what you know about yourself. Be objective. Be very clear cut with yourself about your skill set. We all want to make ourselves look to appear better than what we are. Maybe I want to say that I was great in maths, but like I was just above average, not necessarily like the greatest, you know? So be clear about your skill set. Be clear about and you can always work to perfect a skill that may not necessarily be great at a time. But do you want to study something that has to do with maths? You can always work to improve that, to perfect it, to chisel it, you know? So I think, and be prepared to work hard. Nothing that is worthwhile comes easy. You know, be prepared to work hard towards what you really want to do. Yeah.
And what were some of the practical steps that you take to make sure you take those boxes? Like, did you have mentors that guided you in terms of creating that self-awareness? Did you have people, role models that you looked towards for you to be able to say, how did you do it?
Mentorship, very close to my heart. Very, very close to my heart. I'm definitely sure. I am very sure that I wouldn't be the person that I am today in my career. And when I say career, I encompass everything that I spend my time on, you know, my 9 to life, outside of me being a wife and a mother and a home builder. Everything that I spend my time on, I wouldn't be that without people that came before me, that walked a path before me and allowed me to walk their path behind them while they shine the light ahead, you know? I had I still do, an attorney who allowed me, I was just the final year law student, but he allowed me to come with him to court during the winter vacation. He'd allow me to come and work at the UJ Law Clinic. He'd allow me to come and I think that was my first court experience, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was my first court experience. He allowed me to shadow him in handling his cases, and mentorship is so important to me. It's critical, actually. And I think for those of your viewers that are watching that have potentially made it in their careers, I would like literally beg of them to be the shoulders on which someone else can stand on, you know? Those were my mentors, my role models, you know. I had who's now become a friend of mine. I had a manager who, now she's a very, very good friend of mine. But the things that I've learned from that lady, I think it's so important to surround yourself with people that you can always learn from. Don't be the smartest in the room. Don't always be the smartest in the room. When you are the smartest in the room, you need to pay it forward. You need to leave those smarts to those that come behind you, you know?
That I was expecting you to say exit that room.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking the same thing. There's a harbor. You're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room. You're in the wrong room.
Okay. There's a lot more that I felt like we didn't touch on. But, I think these next 3 questions, we ask our guests the next 3 questions, and it's always interesting for us and I guess for our viewers as well. See how
they answer.
Yes, how they compare.
Should I be nervous?
No, relax. No.
Depends.
Sure, on the answer, right?
So,
guys,
simple.
Making me nervous. My goodness.
In this life of yours, from the
Very
start,
full of many activities in life.
very busy life.
I don't know how you're going to choose, but
to now, what has been your biggest win, your moment of glory so far?
don't forget the disclaimer.
The
disclaimer. Can you give her the disclaimer, please?
Yeah. Which disclaimer though?
This is your opportunity.
Oh yes, don't be humble.
Yeah.
You must not be humble.
Yeah. That's
about this.
I think that I think that my biggest win is all the times that I've did I choke?
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe it's making me emotional. So I think my biggest win has been all the times that I've managed to rise. I hope it looks great now, but it wasn't always great, you know? And in all the times that I've had to face adversity, like a phoenix, I rose. And I think that's a big win. It helps that I didn't have a choice but to keep going. But I didn't shy away from the challenges as they were. And I think that's been my biggest win. Also, to be my age and to manage such a critical department in an ICT giant, one of, I dare say, Africa's biggest ICT companies. To be my age, under 35, and be managing such a critical department, I think speaks volumes to my work ethic, my ability to do my job, my relationships that I've built that have gotten me to where I am, because it's also relationships. We can't shy away from that. We can't make like it's just your skill set that's going to, your smarts are going to get you to where you want to be. But I think that's a big win that I'm very, very proud of, and I'm very, very grateful to the people that have allowed me to stand on their shoulders to get to where I am now. So, like a phoenix, I rise.
Lovely. And I think an important part of the phoenix is that, it does it burn? It burns, isn't it, to ashes?
No, it rises from the ashes.
Yeah, but it burns into ashes first and then it rises.
No, it doesn't burn into ashes.
It doesn't burn into ashes.
Yeah, from the fire. Fire.
Also, it can be ashes of anything. It can be like a protest tire, and then
I rise.
Then a phoenix forms
from there.
Oh, I thought it got burned.
I thought so too.
Yes, but it's like burning, because you're burning in the challenges, you're burning in the fire.
Yeah.
And everything else around you is burning.
Yeah.
But the phoenix doesn't die. The phoenix rises from the ashes.
Oh.
Think about those burning moments. One of them, the biggest one, the biggest fire. From that fire, what was the biggest lesson or the biggest takeaway? Where things didn't work out for you and you were in the trench, in the pit.
One Mishaka, Petniko, and
Shadrach.
Yeah. The biggest lesson, there were several lessons. There were several lessons, but I think one of the ones that stand out is timing is everything. When it's not your time, when it's not your time, you must allow it to go.
You can push and push
You
and
can
push.
jump until you're blue in the
Pusha
face.
Panda.
You can Pressa Pusha Panda. If it's not your numbers, it's not your numbers. If it's not your numbers, you can Pressa Pusha Panda until you're green in the face.
Yeah.
It's not your time.
It's
It's
just not
not
gonna
your
happen.
time. And once it's your time, nothing in the universe will stop it from happening. You can't stop my go. Not now.
I like
Not
that.
now.
It's a bit different to how we usually phrase it, and the answer is different, but I like it. In closing, if you're doing too many things, that's the thing. Now it becomes difficult now. Anyway, if you're doing all the 17 million things that you are doing right now, what would you be doing?
I'd be sleeping in my house. I'd be a
You're not
housewife.
allowed to say traveling the world because that's the typical one. And you're not allowed to
Guys,
say
I'd be
house.
sleeping. I'd be a housewife.
Okay, you see housewife as a job.
Yes. Okay, I lie. I'd actually be a property developer, I think.
Oh.
I'd be a property developer. I'd be spinning property.
Talk to us about what
Hey,
area
don't ask me
of
the
life
securities
it
about
fulfills.
properties, ne?
No. What do you think it would be fulfilling? What would you think?
I just like the process of starting something at like not so great level and just working to build and build and build, you know? So I think that's the aspect about it. I'm not like I'm not like an expert on properties. I'm not gonna tell you this area is booming, so you want to invest in this area. I don't. I just like property development, and I think there's something fascinating to watch a plot go from zero to like this massive thing that's like being built. There's a mall that just got built, or not like a mall, a shopping complex that just got built close to my house. And to think that last year, this time, there was nothing. There was nothing there. It was just a plot with sand. There was just like nothing.
You're a creator, like from content creator to concrete creator.
I think I'm a creator. I think I'm artistic-ish. I used to play piano. So
We should have touched on that.
yeah, guys, I'm an onion. Many layers.
Layers on layers on layers.
Do you read novels? Just please read Sidney Sheldon, The Stars Shine Down.
No, Evan, send me the name. The name. The name, Muna. The name. Heaven.
And on that non-pirated note, we're going to end this episode of 9 to Life. Thank you, Tshego, for joining us once again, for giving us a second opportunity to tell your story to other young women out there. And thank you so much for all the content that you shared on Mr. South Africa, because I know that there are people who didn't know about it and how empowering it is, because to a lot of us, including myself, I've never seen pageants as that, but it was because I've never had someone to sit down and actually, phrase that out for us. So we are going to be joining you at your semi-final. We're going to be in the audience. We have made a commitment. So we'll be there as 9 to Life supporting Tshego. Miss is South Africa. Lesego, my brother.
2004 and before.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. Yes. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment in the comment sections. Remember to tell us what careers you want to see next, who we should bring for you guys. For closing comment.
No, thank you guys. I think it's very important what you guys are doing. You're inspiring many, many, many people, and you're educating, you're opening eyes. So in the absence of education, there's propaganda. So
okay.
I think it's very important.
He's ruined your moment. Anyways, thank you. Remember, guys, You probably are watching this on YouTube, but we're also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and in your hearts. See you later, guys.
Healing the game. And if a rap.
Bum 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 bum. Oh no, it's the director.